Howdy do. Here we are again. Welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. And I must admit that you are all looking very well. Actually, it's speaking of being very well and feeling very well. If you watched last Sunday's show, I was struggling a little bit, and I'm a lot better this week. So we should have a better show, hopefully. It was the effects of an injection I had. So yes, as I say, welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. If you're new to this channel, this is the first time you've watched, you're very, very welcome. And I can tell you that Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel is devoted 100% to the life and career of this man here behind me. Elvis Presley. And it's done by a fan, huge fan of Elvis Presley, for you, the fans. That's you looking through that camera there now. Okay, so it's not done for any other reason but that, the fans. So let's see now. Hello, Steve. Hello, everyone. Hi, Helen. Maxine is in the house, and Maxine is very kindly doing the moderating today on the chat, and also helping me out on the quiz. And guys, I have something new on the quiz. I have a new feature this week, which is Name the Elvis Movie. So I hope you've been brushing up and scrubbing up on your Elvis movies. Hey, Super Steve, says Maxine. Hi, Maxine. Yeah, and I would say continue to scrub up and brush up on your movies, because this won't be the only time I will do Name That Elvis Movie. I'm going to do it for a few weeks, I think. And if you're also watching Helen, the other Helen, as you probably know, your jacket is on the way, so look out for that. Helen won the grand prize in August, and she picked the blue Speedway jacket, so that's winging its way to her. Helen Murray, I believe. And I think I saw Helen Murray's name on here. So hi, Helen, and congratulations again. Now, I wanted to start, actually, before we go into the quiz, I wanted to mention this. This is a brand new book that's out by Leslie Pilling, your friend and my friend Leslie Pilling. Great, a big Elvis fan. She was head of getting the plaque at the Circle G Ranch, and there she is now. She says, Leslie Pilling, Helen Murray, I've got a blue Speedway jacket, love mine. So this is your moment in the spotlight, Leslie. I'm going to mention your book, and it is Take My Hand, Take My Whole Life Too. Okay? So I'll just put that over there for a second, because I want to just tell you about this book. And Leslie says that it is a note from the author. And also Barbara Hearn-Smith said about this book, Leslie's writing, Elvis's very being seems to have been infused in Leslie's heart and mind, and then released for his fans through her pen. And the premise is, this is Barbara's words as well, Barbara Hearn-Smith. And also, for any new fans as well, if you haven't seen it, I've actually interviewed Barbara Hearn, who was Elvis's girlfriend in the 50s. So check that out if you can. Please begin a journal. Begin today. God willing, it will be a wonderful year worth remembering. One you will want to remember when it and many others have passed. Barbara Hearn-Smith, December 29th, 2021. And Leslie says, when I read this message written by my dear friend, and I would hope that actually Barbara is a dear friend of mine as well, because I hope she is anyway. But anyway, the lovely Barbara Hearn-Smith, what have been a germ of an idea took on the life of its own, and my journey to take Elvis's hand and take his whole life too began. It's a simple idea. The book consists of journal entries. The journal entries are completely fictional, but inspired by specific dates and incidents that, as Elvis fans, we know so very well. Some entries are what I have imagined could have been written by Elvis, and others by fictional individuals who have had placed I have placed in the scene. In this way, we can take Elvis's hand and journey through his life with him. It is quite a ride. Also, I want my readers to feel they have inhabited the world I've created and are really there experiencing the events. I sincerely hope you enjoy this book and that you find Elvis, his soul, humanity, and God-given gift within these pages. And if you can hear him speaking the words I've penned for him, then I've done my job. So there you go. And as I say, it's been endorsed as well by Barbara Hearn-Smith, and that's the back as well. Take his hand, take his whole life too. Now, you can buy the book by emailing Leslie at lesliepilling61@gmail.com. Don't worry if you haven't got a pen to jot that down and you can't remember it, because I am going to put that link in the description box below this video after it finishes. So if you're interested in getting that book, Take My Hand, Take My Whole Life Too by Leslie Pilling. It's lesliepilling61@gmail.com. Don't worry, I'll put the link below. So there you go, Leslie, and I'm proud to put that out on this channel. I really am. A friend of mine. I would call Leslie a friend of mine through social media and of course through Elvis, and same with Barbara Hearn as well. I would like to call her a friend, a very dear friend as well. Now, yes, you're most welcome, Leslie. She says she appreciates it, but you're most welcome. Any help I can give to people this sort of way with new books and things like that, I'll always try. Now, I'm excited for this because this is the quiz, and I've got a new topic, and this is what I like to do. I like to bring new things to the fans, the people that sit down with me and watch this show, because it's great. I mean, I could be talking to myself if you didn't come in and join me every Sunday. So I'm always trying to think of a way to keep things fresh and freshen things up. And there's more things coming down the line as well for this channel. I will be opening the phone lines as well, and you can call me free on WhatsApp. You can see the number on the screen. You can also use Facebook Messenger and Instagram. That's after we've gone through the Elvis and Priscilla, did they plan a reconciliation? But let's do the quiz first, and I still have this on my soundboard.
I missed it this time. We'll call a break. Call the group.
So if you're the first person to get the answer right, then you'll hear Elvis saying that to you. What is it?
I missed it this time. We'll call a break. Call the group.
Yeah. If I miss it this time, I'm going to call a break of the group. He said that during the sessions for Paradise of Wine Style, and I think it was dating, wasn't it? He was kept cracking up. Now, so I'm going to play 3 clips from an Elvis movie, 3 different movies, of course, and you have to give me the title of the movie. And just three sound clips this week. I didn't want to do all 6 questions with sound clips. So, and I'm only going to play them once, so you have to listen very, very carefully. Put up the volume if you need to. I'll make sure that you can hear it loud and clear. And this is the first clip coming up now.
What do you got there, topping?
I don't know, but whatever it is, it's a whopper. It's too big to catch with a diaper pin. I'm trying to get rid of him just as much as he's trying to get rid of me.
Okay. Anybody know what film that was? Now, let's have a look. Wow. Elvis Austin, Follow That Dream. Okay. Mark Green, Follow That Dream. Wow. Banjo Paul, hi Banjo. Leslie, Jack. Everybody is saying Follow That Dream. Oh, hang on. Doug is saying Wild in the Country. No. So Elvis Austin, well done. Oh, and Elvis, you're going to get this.
I missed it this time. We'll call a break. Call the group.
And as always, there is a prize at the end of every month for the person that got the most correct answers first. And it was Norset that won in July, and I'm having a little bit of a glitch trying to get Norset's prize to her, but it will be with her next week, hopefully. And I've been talking to Norset, and she's fully understanding. Now, voice clip number 2. Are you ready? Get ready.
I tripped on something. Broken pavement, I think.
Broken pavement?
Well, do you remember the exact location?
Oh, well, I sort of blacked out. It'll probably come back to me when I talk to my lawyer.
Your lawyer?
Oh, yeah, he's a wonderful guy. If you give him a call, I'm sure he'll be glad to come right over.
Okay. It happens at the World's Fair. Elvis Austin. Elvis, you are just on fire tonight. Because, yes, it was. It happened at the World's Fair. It's just after Kurt Russell kicks him in the shin. So, Elvis.
I missed it this time. We'll call a break. Call the group.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of people there saying World's Fair. Edwidge. Well done, Edwidge. JC22. Yeah. That's when he's in with a nurse, isn't it? Right. Yeah. No Set says Elvis Austin is on fire. He really is. Chris says bloody spell check. Okay. Third and final clip. Get your ears ready. Turn up the volume.
I got fired from my job, I got into a fight, and now I find out I don't live in my own home anymore. Now, where are my things? Who gave you the right to move me out and pay my back rent? Look, I don't know what sort of a kick you're getting out of this, but you're not going to run my life.
Okay. King Creole, Banjo Paul? No. No Set, King Creole? No. Wow, Jack Mullins. Well done, Jack. It is Live a Little, Love a Little. So that's Jack. Well done, Jack. Yeah. It's a scene where he goes in and he throws the fella out that's eaten, and then he says, who gave you, he finds out that Bernice has sold his house on and so forth. Yeah, good movie. It was actually on television there last week. So, Salam says, no. Now, there's more questions. That's only 3. Did everybody like the sound clips? Is it a good idea or a bad idea? Had a feeling I was wrong, says Valvis. Good idea or bad idea? In fact, is it one of these? Paul likes that. Yes, loved it. Great idea. I like the idea. Oh, yeah, a lot of people are saying it's okay. Great idea. Sound clips are great. Yeah, okay, we might do that again then. But 3 more questions. So, come on. Somebody beat Elvis Austin to it. And the question is, what was the name of Anne Helm's character in Follow That Dream? Now. Name that tune, yeah, Jackie says. Do you know what else I'm going to do? And I think it was Sarah that gave me the idea. What about Name the Jumpsuit? Elvis Austin says Holly. Well done, Elvis Austin. Oops. Well done, Elvis Austin. You get...
I missed it this time. We'll call a break. Call the group.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying Holly. I have a daughter called Holly. God, now I'm stumped, says Chris. Okay. Elvis Austin, you're doing really, really well. You're just leaving everybody in your exhaust fumes tonight. Yeah, I was thinking of doing Name That Jumpsuit as well. What I could do is I could get a little tiny section of a photograph of a jumpsuit, and I could ask you what jumpsuit you think it is. Jumpsuits sometimes have more than one name, so that could be difficult. Yes, I agree, Jack. But what I would probably do is accept either or. I think most of them only have 2 names, don't they? Yeah, that's worth thinking about. That could be difficult. Okay, on to question number 5. Who was the director of It Happened at the World's Fair? Oh, there you go. That might stump a few people. Leslie says, love the jumpsuit idea. Yeah, the only thing is, the chipmunk has pneumonia. Norman Torog. Yes, it was Norman Torog. Well done, chipmunk.
I missed it this time. We'll call a break. Call the group.
I'm just going to put chipmunk for that. Because too much writing, the chipmunk has pneumonia. And not only that, I can't spell pneumonia. Yep. Well done, chipmunk. Thanks, Maxine. Gracie G says, my chat has stopped. That's strange. Don't forget also, make sure that it doesn't say live chat, top chat. It has to say live chat, because the top chat only shows so many. And also, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, and turn it black for all. Okay. The only reason I'm saying click it black for all is because if you don't, you just select on personalize or something like that, I don't know, you don't seem to get all the you don't seem to be notified every time I go live. And also don't forget to turn on your notifications for the app, for the YouTube app. You need to go into your apps on your phone and do that as well. YouTube don't make it easy. Okay, here we go. The sixth and final question for this week is, in Live a Little, Love a Little, who played Mr. Penlow? Quite a famous fella, actually. Who played Mr. Penlow in Live a Little, Love a Little? Rudy Valley, Elvis Austin. Well done, Elvis Austin. Oh my goodness me.
I missed it this time. We'll call a break. Call the group.
Okay, well this is the first week of the month, and Elvis Austin is actually streaking away at the moment. But there's no saying where he'll be in a few weeks' time. Now, Maxine says, Elvis Austin, well done. I agree, well done. I'm going to do where are we? I need to look at something here for a second, because if I don't, I'll mess up. Okay. Now, this is the topic for this week, and then I'll open the phone lines. Don't worry, because I will let you know when the phone lines are open, and you can ring me about this if you wish. First of all, let me just say that I'm not bashing anybody when I sort of read this out and talk about this. I'm just putting the facts out there as I see them, and I'm not really sort of saying that this is right or this is wrong and it didn't happen or it did happen. So if somebody thinks I'm against Priscilla or something like that because I say I didn't think this was going to happen, or I do think it was going to happen, this is just my thoughts on the matter. I frequently see posts on social media and in the press saying that people strongly believe that Elvis wanted a reconciliation with Priscilla after they divorced, and some use the new Baz Luhrmann movie to back up this belief. We're all familiar with, if you've seen the movie, we will be familiar with the scene near the end where Elvis and Priscilla have a discussion in the back of the limo at the airport. Now, whilst in no way do I wish to claim that I know for sure what he wanted, I want to bring to your attention a letter written by his father to a fan that had written to him about her concerns over Elvis after seeing him in concert during the spring of 1977. It was by, the fan was called Miss Ames, had said that people were walking out of the concert, laughing at him, etc. Now, you may wonder what this has to do with the topic of the reconciliation, but all will become clear, so just bear with me a little bit. Werner replied to the letter, which I'd like to read for you now. Don't worry if you can't read it, because, as I say, I'm going to read it out, and then I'm also going to show you the most important part in the topic as well. I'm going to sort of show you another photograph. And it says, in regard to your letter of April 25th, 77, first of all, I must say I do appreciate your concerns very much. You must know I am very much concerned about Elvis' well-being, but I don't think there's any need to worry yourself much. Although I'm not familiar with the shows you've seen, due to my illness, I've been unable to travel with Elvis as I did. Hopefully, I will be able to travel with Elvis again in the near future. I don't know what his problems were. I do know it is not a drunkenness, as you have said in your letter, that people have also said. He does not drink or consume alcohol to any extent. As far as I know, Elvis does not have anything to be bothered about to the point it would affect his shows. A lot of people seem to think that Elvis is bothered about his age, but I do not think that is bothering him because he really just got grown. Whatever that means, I'm not too sure about that. But anyway, that's sort of the way of Vernon sort of explaining it. It should not affect him on his ability to perform in any way. Speaking from my own experience, getting through to that age was the greatest part of my life. As for his weight, there should be no reason for him to be concerned about it. It's a thing that can happen to everybody on Earth, and that they can also lose weight. Now, this is the part that I want to stress. Then we get a lot of letters that think that Elvis is grieving over the breakup with Priscilla. This is far from the truth because I happen to know he does not want Priscilla back, and that is not his trouble. His daughter Lisa visits with him quite often, staying 1 to 2 weeks at a time. So if it was his problem to the point it's affecting him, I do not know what it is. As far as working too much, he likes to work and he only works about 2 weeks out of a month. So I have no idea what the problem might be, but as I said, don't worry yourself about it too much. And that is from Vernon Presley in 1977 to a fan called Miss Ames. Now we know this lady. She's quite active on social media and so forth. So I just really wanted to kind of balance it up. It's entirely up to you, and it's entirely up to myself. It's entirely up to everybody who and what they want to believe. Whether they do want to believe that there was a reconciliation going to happen, whether they discussed a reconciliation because of Lisa. I just, would Vernon know as much or as the most? Would he know better than anybody what Elvis wanted? Was he spending as much time with Elvis as we think he was? Was Elvis telling people different things? Was he telling Vernon different things? Was he telling the Memphis Mafia different things? Was he telling Priscilla different things? That's what the topic is about. The phone lines are now going to be opened once I press this button. So if anybody does want to ring me about that letter and about the movie and how it portrays the end when they're sat in the back of the limousine, you can most certainly call me. You can. Because I would be very, very interested, and I'm sure the listeners would be very, very interested to hear your opinion on it. So you can call me free on WhatsApp, +353 if you're outside of... Hi, Mark.
Hello, Steve. How you doing?
Good evening to you.
Good evening to you. You feeling better?
Yeah, I am a lot better,
good.
Thanks. Yeah.
Good. I was with your good friend, Mr. Colin Paul, on Friday.
I saw the photographs, actually. I think
Yeah.
you posted some photographs with Colin, didn't you?
Yeah.
Great.
So, yeah, it's good. It's a good weekend. Yeah.
I hope you said hi to Colin for me.
I did. Yeah.
Great.
I said I'll listen to your show every week.
Yeah.
He knows himself anyway.
Yeah. And I know Colin listens some weeks when he can, but of course he was in Hawaii for a couple of weeks, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He come back and we just done. Well, he's still there now. I did the Friday night doing the Elvis Festival down in Devon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's actually performing there today.
Right.
So he'd still be there today. Yeah.
He sometimes watches on playback. So if you're looking in on playback, hi Colin.
Yeah. Hi, Matt. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Interested in your little thing. Yeah. For me, I don't think Elvis would have got back with Priscilla. To be honest with you, I don't think he would have.
Yeah. So you think actually Vernon was actually telling the truth in the letter?
I think so, in a way, yeah. I think, Elvis was with Ginger really back at that time, 77, whatever. He would have stayed with her. You don't know. There's rumours that he got engaged and everything else, isn't it? But it may have been a passing fad and he might have moved on to somebody else the next year or year after that. You don't know, wasn't it? But I don't think Elvis would have got married again, I don't think, do you, really? But
No, I mean,
no.
I mean, I know he was always thinking about Lisa, and maybe he thought that a
Yeah.
reconciliation would help Lisa.
Yeah,
And
I
then some
suppose in a
people say,
way,
well,
yeah.
he'd been there, he'd done that, he'd ploughed that furrow, and he was due to move on. You know.
Yeah, I think so. And how much did really Elvis talk to Vernon about it? Because even in the film, Elvis didn't know that he was bankrupt, more or less.
Yeah.
Vernon said so. They couldn't have talked too much together.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought he would have said that much about his personal life in that way to his dad. Because I think his dad had his own little issues with his own personal life that Elvis wasn't too keen about.
Yeah.
His mum died and everything like that. So he kept himself to himself, didn't he? And he let his dad get on with it, I think, himself.
Yeah.
But no, I think, and even in the film, Priscilla had to put her stamp on the end of the film, more or less, in it to say, oh, yeah, I think we could have got back together. I think she's just stamping them out, but I don't think so. I don't. Maybe they would have got a little bit closer because of Lisa, but I don't think they saw each other that much really from 72 to 76.
No.
Maybe called each other on the phone, and Elvis had a 4-year relationship with Linda, didn't they?
That's right. That's right. I mean, obviously, there was Mike Stone for Priscilla, and then there was there was Linda for Elvis. So they had kind of got on with their lives and moved on, really, hadn't they?
Yeah, and did that meeting at the airport really happen? Because when you look back at her film, Elvis and Me, you see at the end of the film that Elvis goes to see her at, I don't know, at some house that she was living in there. They sit down on the couch.
Yeah.
And, which one did happen? Or
Yeah.
was there a few times that happened? I don't really know.
Well, I was led to believe that they walked out of the courthouse together, arm in arm, and then parted ways. He kissed her and winked at her, and that was it, really.
Yeah. I don't know if that situation did actually happen in 76. Did they meet up again to have a? Because she says that he often called her late at night to talks, and he came over the one time. But that's Priscilla's story, isn't it? But
yeah.
But that wasn't stated in the film. It was just like saying goodbye to Lisa at the airport and all bang bang, being goodbye, isn't it?
Yeah. Strange one.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thanks, Mark.
Okay, Steve.
All the best.
Care.
Bye bye.
Yeah, enjoy.
Bye.
Bye, mate. Bye.
Actually, I've got to do the poll as well, so I must do the poll, and you can be voting while we're doing other things as well. So let's have a look. The poll is: do you think Elvis and Priscilla planned a reconciliation? And there it is. You can be voting on that. You can be voting on that while I talk to. Hi, Maxine.
Hello, Steve.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you feeling now?
Oh yeah, a lot better than last week. Yeah, it was just a wee blip.
Oh, bless you.
I definitely wasn't the best this time last week, but I soldiered on because there was no way I was going to miss the show.
No.
I've just opened the poll. Do you think Elvis and Priscilla planned a reconciliation? Yes or no? So you can be voting on that while I'm talking to Maxine. What do you think?
I don't think they would have.
Okay.
Personally.
So you're no. You're going to be voting no on that poll.
Yeah.
So you think actually that him and Vernon had discussed it?
I don't know, because Elvis was a very private person and he said that himself.
Mm.
I think they both spoke about certain things, but relationship-wise, I don't think they would have.
Yeah. There's a, you know, I don't think he probably made his feelings 100% clear about Dee either to Vernon. I think he just kind of, you know, he made it clear that, you know, that he wanted Dee out of Graceland, so he got them the house. And then what was it? It was there was one house, and then he built them another one on Dolan Drive, didn't he? A little bit closer. Yeah. But he definitely didn't want Dee in Graceland, that's for sure.
No, I don't think he liked her, personally speaking.
No. So you were...
Didn't she...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Didn't Dee meet him in Germany while stationed there?
Well, Dee sent an invite to Elvis to come to the house and have supper or have a meal or something, and Elvis sent Vernon instead. And as we know, the rest is history.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I reckon his dad was lonely, though, after his missus' passed.
Yeah, well, he was kind of on the rebound a little bit, wasn't he? And he was far away from home as well in Germany, so you can see how those things can kind of happen, I suppose.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay.
All right, Steve.
Thanks, Maxine.
All right, thanks.
All the best. Bye,
Bye.
bye, bye.
You too, bye.
Yeah, so as I say, don't forget, you can vote on the poll. Do you think Elvis and Priscilla planned a reconciliation? And if it collapses on you, you can just click on the blue banner and it'll drop down and you can vote. So let's have a word with Salam.
Hi, Steve. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm sorry I missed the last 2 weeks. I got caught up with things and I was very sad to miss the show.
Well, you can always watch on catch up anyway, so, you know.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do, but I like to call in and
yeah, I
play
know you do.
quiz.
Hey, what do you think of the Name the Movie?
The what? Sorry?
The new quiz topic, Name the Movie. What do you think of that?
I love it.
Oh, do ya?
I got Live a Little, Love a Little, but I think Jack might have typed it just a second faster than I did.
I tell you, you've got to be so fast. What with Elvis, Austin, and Jack, I tell you.
I know we can never get our name in the draw for the prize.
Well, as I say, everybody goes in the hat. Well, everybody that gets a question right throughout the year goes in the hat for the main prize in August. So keep working at it. So, what do you think about this Elvis and Priscilla planned reconciliation?
I don't think that they were gonna reconcile. I mean, yeah, he was hurt. When you're married to someone and it ends, there's loss, and they had a child and everything like that. But I think Elvis would have moved on rather quickly. And I don't know if it's true, but he didn't want her to use the name Presley. Is that true?
I think there was something in the divorce that said she couldn't profiteer from the Presley name, but that was only while he was alive, I believe. So obviously once...
Well, if he ever had any, 1% chance or 1% hope of reconciliation, I don't think he would have put that in there.
True. That's a very good point, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't think so. Because when you love someone and you want them back, why would you want them to remove your name or not use your name rather? So I don't think he was interested. And the movie played it up too much, like with the ending, and it made it seem like his life, like he died after Priscilla.
Yeah, there was a very, very, very short time between him going on that plane and then the death, wasn't there? A very short time.
Like he was with Sheila Ryan, with Linda Thompson for years. So it's like he had like 5 more years of life. I don't know how many more years of life. So it's like the way they played it. And then what also bothered me at the end of the movie, where they played the montage of the real Elvis, they put a clip of the wedding. They showed Priscilla, no clip of Gladys, no clip of Mom. And I feel like Mom is more important than the wife of 4 years.
Yeah. Good point again.
Or 5, or however many years it was. I don't know the exact number, but that bothered me too. I said, well, they should have, put a clip of him kissing his mom on the cheek or something, like those old footage that we see.
It just seemed very rushed from when from when Priscilla walked out to the end of the movie. It just seemed almost very rushed, almost like, hey, we got to finish this up now. That's what I felt.
When I first watched the movie, I was shocked that when he got into the plane and then suddenly funeral scenes, I was like, "Whoa, it's over!" Like it's so sudden. Yeah. Actually, I have some family friends. They bought the movie on Amazon and they turned it off after 30 minutes. They were very upset that it was too cartoonish and it didn't represent Elvis the way they know him.
Yeah.
So it's a hit or miss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's some people who would never watch it again. They'd say, that's it. Yeah. And then there's obviously, as we know, there's other people who've gone and seen it 30 times. They've streamed it now. They're getting the Blu-ray. I think you're either for it or against it. There's not many. There's not many this middle ground. I think I found myself somewhere in the middle ground, but I've got to see it again. I've got to get it now on Blu-ray and watch it again, because people say, the first time you can't just watch it once. You have to watch it a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm more in the middle too. Like when you watch it again and again, you find, more jewels in there and you start to love it even more and you get more used to the pace and used to the editing and stuff like that. But they played up the Priscilla thing a little too much at the end. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But I don't think they were going to get back together. I think his life was just so hectic, so chaotic, so many people in and out. I don't think he was even sad to say, not that he didn't love her or anything, but I mean, his life was just chaos. I don't think he was thinking about Priscilla, to be honest.
Yeah, well, some people have said that they thought that Elvis he loved Priscilla, but he wasn't in love with her. after they divorced, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and
He loved her
be.
because
Child,
she was the mother of Lisa, obviously. But
yeah, you'll never stop loving the parent of your child. You'll always care for them. You'll always worry about them. That's the person raising your child. So yeah, that has, of course, I think that's true. But I mean, to get back together in a marriage, I don't think so.
Okay. Thanks very much for calling in. As always, it's always lovely to speak to you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Salam.
Hopefully I'll get to tune in again next week.
Okay. Pleasure to speak to you.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
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 Okay, so that's 3 in a row now that have said no. Okay, don't forget the poll will remain open for a little bit longer, so please do click on that blue ribbon and click either yes or no. Do you think that Elvis and Priscilla planned a reconciliation? If you are out there saying yes, 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 I do think they planned a reconciliation, well, ring in and tell me that. Tell me that. Hello, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hi, it's Anula. I'm calling to say I agree that they would never get married again. I think too much water under the bridge.
Okay.
To get married again. And it was very hard for Priscilla to be with him because she knew, first of all, he was away a long time, and she never believed that he wasn't with other women. That's my opinion.
So you think even if Elvis had wanted reconciliation, she wouldn't wanted one?
I would say probably not. You see that she changed. She actually moved on. And I think he wanted to be with someone, but he also wanted his freedom. And he never really had freedom because he was his career was very demanding as well.
Yeah, I mean, and they were completely different people to what they were when they met in 1959.
Yes.
I mean, she was just a teenager, obviously, as we know. He was very vulnerable after just losing his mother.
Mm-hmm. And he was always drawn to a person that was not in show business and that was real. And he probably felt she was real. And of course, she was so young that she didn't have so many problems, even though she thought she did. Because I remember when I was 14, and I'm looking back at those years, I really did not have any problems.
Yeah.
So that's that among other things, it's too many years that went on. He had so many girlfriends, and she moved on as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of these people that carry on about her having an affair, because she was a young woman too.
Mm-hmm.
And
he was away. He was away a lot.
A lot, and it's just too hard. People have a regular career. Let's say, from the man's standpoint, he has a career that's very important, and he's not in show business, and still you have trouble with your personal life. That's how it is.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they didn't care for each other.
No,
they did.
That's right.
She cared for him, and he cared for her, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, well, thank you very, very much for ringing in. It's most appreciated. Did you say it was Anula? Did you say your name was?
Yes, it is.
Very nice.
It is.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks very much.
It's because I try to call a lot of times, but I'm not really very good at it. I get a little bit bashful.
Well, you got through this time.
But anyway.
Yeah. Well,
but I feel you're doing such a good thing right now. Your show is just wonderful, not judgmental. I've seen so many horrible things that I tune it off and I go out of it, and I commend you the way you're taking,
that's
very good care of what you put on.
That's very kind.
Very well.
Very kind. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Stay safe. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Nice call. Thanks, Anula. Now, yes, I must stress, I have seen some comments in the comment section where saying, this is all speculation. We don't know 100%. Of course it is. And also people are saying, the only people that can answer this question is Elvis himself. and Priscilla herself. So yes, I am 100% in agreement with people saying this is just speculation. But it was just something that I felt we, as fans, could maybe discuss and comment on and vote on. Of course, don't forget the vote. And if you're watching this on playback, you can still have your say. You can leave comments in the comment section below the video, because this video will go up after the live anyway, and you can rewatch it and you can comment and things like that. Maxine says, great call. Yes, they've been really, really good calls. The only thing I will say is nobody yet has rung in and said, yes, I think they were going to have a reconciliation. So I would imagine that I can sort of guess what way the poll is going to go. But the more people that vote on that poll, the more accurate I believe that the poll will be. So keep voting on that poll. As I say, it's completely anonymous. I don't know who votes and who doesn't vote, and what you vote. It just gives me the number of votes, how many yeses and how many nos. Right, so here we go. There's another call coming in. And that looks like it's Priscilla, but not the Priscilla. Hi,
Hey.
Priscilla.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
I'm doing
You
well.
know what? It's been a great show.
Thanks.
You've kept us all awake this evening, Steve.
What, you mean you normally fall asleep?
No, I'm so excited when I saw what the topic was going to be this week.
Oh, so what do you think about it then, the reconciliation?
So I think I don't think genuinely that they'd have gotten back together.
So you're another no.
That's my honest feeling. Now, if I was the Priscilla, I'm sure he'd have come back to me. But
Yeah.
in that case, it wasn't. But anyway, no, I don't think so. There's a couple of things. Okay.
Yeah.
So in any history or folklore, we only know what people bring back themselves. So they can't distance themselves from it. They only tell the story as they recall it or as they believe it happened.
Uh-huh.
And with the case with Priscilla, she was there for it and she was a support for Elvis. And I suppose the reality is they got together at a time when they were both quite vulnerable. She was young.
Mm-hmm.
He had just lost his mother. He was stationed in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
They developed a friendship that became a relationship. And if you were to believe what they say, much later on, it became a physical relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there was a sense of loyalty, that Elvis cared so much for the people around him that he couldn't hurt her, or he felt that he couldn't. Now, the reality is we're judging what occurred or the occurrences that happened with either of their indiscretions, for want of a better description. But they were living a life that is not... It was so far removed from reality.
Oh, yeah. I mean, their lives were nothing like ours, that's for sure.
No, nothing like anybody's. Then or since, Steve. But I think that, you know, if we're putting any weight behind that letter that Vernon wrote to Miss Ames, the man was delusional. He had no idea why Elvis was the way he was or the shape that he was in. He was completely denying that there was anything there.
Yeah,
so
I've often found that quite strange, that Vernon didn't think there was anything, you know, amiss with Elvis in 1977. I mean, everybody knew that he was unwell.
Come here, Steve.
You know?
Now, no disrespect meant to Mr. Vernon Presley. A blind man could see something wasn't right, babe.
Exactly, yeah. I just, maybe he was in denial, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes you don't want to see that, and I totally understand that. Vernon was a loving father, and so whether Elvis and he ever had those conversations about the intimacies of their own lives, I'm not sure. I want to sit down and talk to my father as much as I love him.
Exactly.
But I do think that they would have been privy to information that may not have needed to be spoken.
Yeah.
You know, you understand the other person in a way that other people outside of that wouldn't. And the other thing was, if you were in a relationship with Elvis, you were in a relationship with quite a significant other group.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Elvis. You had the mafia and...
Well, Priscilla has said that, you know, they were around all the time. I mean, I don't know whether she thought that it would change after May the 1st, 1967, but it certainly didn't.
I don't think it ever could. Again, for the same reason I mentioned earlier, the sense of loyalty, the kind of man that Elvis was, meant he could never say something and not back it up or not stick it out, and so that's why I think the divorce had such an effect on him. That, and of course, Lisa Marie, but I've said to you before, Steve, we've talked about this before. Lisa Marie has said on numerous occasions in the past that she never knew her parents were divorced.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
They loved each other enough, or they loved Lisa Marie enough to be able to put their differences aside and be the parents they needed to be.
Yeah.
So whether we sit here all night, now I mean, look, the reality is a lot of this is speculation, and it's a story being told from one perspective, because that's the only person here to tell it now. Do I agree? Did I enjoy Baz's movie? Yes and no in equal measures. Yeah,
it was. A lot of people said that there was good parts and there was bad parts.
Well, the whole thing, look, the reality is, as Elvis fans, and this is, I'm a sane human being, be under no illusion. What I want is to experience that in reality. That's what I want. But I'm never going to get that opportunity. And anything that brings Elvis to the fore, maybe not in such a sad light, is still good because people are talking.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we know for a fact that this has garnered new fans. Without a doubt, this has garnered new fans.
Of course it has. Yeah. Because, Steve, I have friends who've known I've been an Elvis fan for as long as they've known me. And they are now asking me questions.
Yeah. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
So before they would have gone, oh God, no, here she goes again. now they want to know, you know. Yeah. So I think it has reignited
interest.
Yes, and I think that's not a bad thing. And the other thing is, and I'm going to say this, whatever anybody's feelings are about Priscilla, we wouldn't have what we have now if it wasn't for her.
Yeah, a lot of people said that there'd be no Graceland, it would have been sold on and so forth.
Graceland would have been sold. Vernon hadn't managed it very well. I mean, as much as he tried, he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was worth very, very little by the time Vernon died. Very, very little.
Yeah, I mean, it was only, did they say 500,000 or 50,000 or something?
Something like that. And it was costing a lot to run per month as well.
Yeah, well, of course it did. And the wages that he paid out for people who didn't really work for them at all were phenomenal. Yeah. But anyway, that's my story. And the other thing is, I love all the chat. The problem is that when we're on the show and I'm listening to what you or the callers are saying, I'm not necessarily reading the chat until afterwards. And then I go, oh, wow, that was a great point.
Yeah. I go back and I read the chat during the week, and see what people have said and things like that. Because I just don't get a chance to see the chat either. That's why I always say, if people want me to address something specifically, send me a super chat and then I'll see it. Chat. Yeah. Send me a super chat.
Well, now I have to say, like, even my Kevin and Sophie here, they just know, is it your show time?
Great. I love it. Well, thanks, Priscilla, for calling in. Thanks.
As I've said before, Steve, I think you're doing a great job.
Thanks.
I loved the rest of our Elvis family. And I have to say, if anything was to get in the way of this, if anything was to, like, I'm not a happy camper. So you're doing something right, Steve.
Thanks very much.
You're doing something right.
Very good. Very nice.
Thanks a million for taking the call,
All
Steve.
Right, no problem. Always a pleasure.
Have a great week.
See you, Priscilla. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, that's Priscilla. Always a great call. Always lots of energy. Our Priscilla. Still plenty of time to vote on, do you think Elvis and Priscilla were planning a reconciliation, and what you think about Vernon's letter. You won't see this poll if you're watching it on playback, but you will hear me give out the poll result. Okay, here we go. Hey, this is a fella. Now, this is a fella I'm really, really looking forward to speaking to. Hey, Jack.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing really, really well. You're doing really, really well on the quiz as well.
Well, I got edged out by Elvis Austin.
I know. It's very, very difficult to get in front of Elvis Austin for sure.
I know, he's lightning fast, that guy.
So how you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty good. I wanted to call in about this Priscilla thing.
I'm so interested to hear what people have got to say on this.
Yeah, I don't think that Elvis wanted to reconcile. I don't even think he wanted to get married in the first place.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah. No, we do hear of stories of him saying just before the wedding, I can't go through this.
Yeah, I think that when he first met Priscilla, he was very into her, and when Elvis got into something, he got into it until he wasn't into it anymore. So I think that he was fulfilling promises that he made to Priscilla's father.
Yeah.
And I think he loved her, but I don't think he was in love with her or wanted to marry.
Yeah.
And history is written by the victors and the survivors. So Priscilla, outliving Elvis, can say, all sorts of things. And we know that she's changed her story in a couple of things in the book that she wrote. We know that her story about Cary Grant is false because of photographic evidence in Child Bride.
Mm-hmm.
So she paints a picture that I don't think is necessarily the truth. I think she's marketing a product as well as telling a story.
Yes, well, that could be the case. Yes, definitely.
So that's my thought. And people give Priscilla credit for Graceland. Priscilla was going to sell Graceland. It was her advisors and her lawyers that came up with the idea of opening it.
Yeah, well, it was the Bank of Northern Commerce, wasn't it? I think, and Jack Soden.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think people tend to kind of put Priscilla on a pedestal a little bit because she was married to Elvis, and I don't think that's I'm not saying that she's a terrible person or anything like that. I just don't think that she's figured as importantly in Elvis's life post-divorce as she claims that he did,
So really what you're saying is you think what Vernon said to Nana Ames in the letter was probably true. He'd moved on and it wasn't his problem. He didn't want a reconciliation.
Yeah, I think that what Vernon was saying was true. And other people have said that too, that he didn't want to get married again and he wasn't interested in having Priscilla back. Of course, when somebody's in your life for as long as she was, you do love them, even if you're not together anymore. But I think it was a different kind of love at that point and a different kind of relationship, and that they were better off apart.
And of course, Elvis would have been mindful of Lisa as well, because obviously we know he thought the absolute world of Lisa.
Absolutely, yes.
Great. Okay, I'm so glad you rang in, Jack. I've been waiting for you to ring in for months.
Oh, well, you should have told me. I would have called in earlier.
Great. Okay, well, take care, my man, and keep
All
up.
right.
Thanks for the support.
Great show, Steve, as always.
Oh, thanks, Jack. All the best.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye. Yes, the one and only Jack Mullins. Great. I'm glad he called in with his opinion. And whether you agree with it or not, ring in and tell me if you can. We will go on and I wanted to mention the link. You can see Elvis Radio 24. He does 24/7. The links are below. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Wow, look who it is. It's Jeanette.
Hi.
Hey, long time no speak.
I know. I've been pretty busy,
I know.
but that's okay.
I know.
I'm here now, but I'm not going to take up too much of your time. But I've missed talking to you.
Yes, and I've missed talking to you.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Now, what do you think about this subject I brought up?
I'm with the majority. Yeah, everything is speculation. We weren't around back then. We don't know anything other than what we read. But no, they wouldn't be back together. Not married anyway. No.
I mean, they continued to see each other because of Lisa, obviously. But you think they just moved on? They changed. They were different people to when they met in 1959.
Man, this show, actually, you could have made this a 3 or 4 hour show because there's so much depth to their relationship that we all speculate on. So I'm surprised we're able to talk about this in an hour and a half or hour, whatever it is. But didn't they get along much better after the divorce? Like he would call her and tell her about his relationship troubles with other women, and she'd give him advice. And
well, I think a lot of divorced couples sometimes find that is the case.
Yeah.
So Elvis and Priscilla could have been the same.
Too.
Yeah.
And I think from what I've read, with the Elvis Memphis Mafia book and interviews that I've watched, they would say things like, well, if he really, really loved her, he didn't even remember Priscilla's birthday. I mean, that's what's so odd to me. I mean, how do you not remember your own spouse's birthday? It's weird. Like he would tell the mafia, okay, oh, it's her birthday. Oh yeah. Okay. You know what to do.
Yeah.
Go and get her flowers and this and that. It's odd to me. Their whole relationship to me, it was just odd.
Well, I'm actually,
we can go. Yeah.
I'm actually very fortunate because myself and my wife share the same birthday. So
do you really?
There's no way I can ever forget it.
Doesn't that help? Yeah.
Sorry, you're going to say
no,
anyway.
I just think if you were to ever forget her birthday, you'd be in big, big trouble.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Just little things that I've read, like even on their wedding day, the wedding vows left out the word obey.
Yeah.
You know, isn't that part of the wedding vows? Like they left that out. And then after he talked to Marty Lacker and told him, hey, I'm getting a divorce. And he would say, oh, she wants me to change. And Marty would ask him straight up, hey, are you going to change anything about yourself or the way your lifestyle or anything? And he flat out told him, hell no.
Yeah.
Pardon my language. But no, he wouldn't do that for anybody.
No.
Yeah, you could have a whole other show just about their relationship in general. And we could just pick that to pieces.
Well,
I have a lot to say about the relationship in general, and it's not all good.
No. Well, yeah, as I say, we can cover that maybe in another show.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to. I picked on the reconciliation part because I knew that I'd seen this letter that Vernon wrote to Miss Ames, and I thought, well, let's just see what everybody else to the show thinks about it. So I thought that's why I do.
Of course, sure. It's a neat topic to talk about. But one more thing before I head out. You know, Elvis probably said one thing to one person and then a couple hours later would say something completely different.
Yes.
And let's not forget, you know, the drug use and all that. Yeah, you know, he probably couldn't remember half the stuff he told one person one day and you know. Yeah. It's sad to say.
Yeah, no, well,
but he probably said some things to some women. That's what they want to hear. But you know, and let's not forget about, well, if you believe Billy Smith or whomever, he would only be with a woman for 3-4 years tops, and then boom, you're gonna move on.
Yeah. You know, Billy Smith.
I don't know what to believe.
Billy Smith has said that, you know, as far as he's concerned, he knew that Elvis told different things to different people. So
that's my understanding too. Yeah. I don't know. He was just Anyway, I have a lot to say, but you got to go.
Okay, well, as I say,
I just wanted to hear your voice.
Yeah, so. Thank you very much. That's very nice. And we will cover Elvis and Priscilla and different topics later in other shows as well, so we can talk about that as well.
Very cool.
Okay. All right, Jeanette.
I missed you, Steve.
Thanks a lot.
Still a good show.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, that's a very, very good point she made there, saying that Elvis could have told different things to different people. And I know for a fact that Billy Smith said that he could tell different things to different people because he witnessed it. Billy witnessed it, and got a lot of time for Billy Smith and Joe. People have actually asked me, you know, have you asked Billy and Joe onto the show? I have. But unfortunately, they've said no. And I understand that, and I respect that. They have their own channel to run. So, yeah, why would they want to come on my channel when they have their own channel anyway? So, yeah, great. Now, without further ado, we are going to do the Elvis history. If you wonder what Elvis was doing on September the 4th, down through the years, if this is a red letter day for you, anniversary, your birthday, we were talking about birthdays just a minute ago. This is some of the things that he was doing. I pick out certain things down through the years. And we start quite early this week. I've got some pictures. And it's 1948. Lovely picture here. Elvis filled in the blank lines of his parents' marriage certificate with his own name and that of Magdalene Morgan. You can see it there now. A girl he knew from church. He wrote September the 11th as the date of their marriage. This all was a big surprise. 50 years later, Magdalene, when she heard about it, it was a surprise to Magdalene. She said, it was just a very sweet relationship. At the time, if you just held hands, it was very serious. Those days, huh? And we did hold hands a lot. Magdalene died sadly in February 2012. There's a lovely sweet. You'll be seeing that picture again later on, and all will be revealed why. 1952, Elvis worked for Mile Metal Products, a furniture manufacturer. He worked from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift as an assembler. 1954, Elvis worked at Crown Electric for $1 an hour. He delivered supplies to the job sites and hoped to train to be an electrician. He stayed at Crown until mid-October. 1956, Elvis recorded Elvis recording sessions for the new movie. Yes, Love Me Tender at 20th Century Fox Soundstage. He recorded a remake of Poor Boy, Let Me, and Poor Boy Third New Verse. 1960, he was working on Flaming Star. Elvis's song Marie's the Name, his latest flame, moved from 66 to 32 on this day in 1961. Now, of course, that was one of the first tracks that he recorded when he returned from the army. So that was held over until 1961, but it did appear on Elvis's back. 1962, we've got It Happened at the World's Fair production from September the 4th to the 13th in Seattle, Washington, during the World's Fair. He checked into a suite on the 14th floor of the Doric New Washington Hotel. He was accompanied by Gene and Billy Smith, Alan Fortas, Red West, Ray Sitton, and Joe Esposito. And also two friends from Memphis, Richard Davis and Jimmy Kingsley, were hired as extra security. But at the end of their stay, they were regular members of the group. Now, Richard was more regular than Jimmy Kingsley. Jimmy sort of faded into the background through the 60s, but Richard was still very much a Memphis Mafia member into the 70s. In fact, you can see him quite prominently and quite a few times on That's the Way It Is. 1963, Viva Las Vegas. The rehearsals and filming for a dance sequence began today and lasted 2 to 3 days. The setting was a nightclub in Vegas, and first Elvis and Anne-Margaret danced to a version of The Climb, and then Elvis got up on a small stage and sang What Did I Say? 1964, single Such a Night hit number 13 in the UK. So actually, I showed the wrong thing there, didn't I, when I was talking about Marie's the Name, his latest flame. That's what I should have shown when I was talking about it. 1964, the single Such a Night hit number 13 in the UK. Sorry for the mistake, folks. So Such a Night was actually held over for single release for nearly 4 years. So there you are. That was my mistake. I do beg your pardon. I should have shown a picture about Marie's the Name in 1961. Now, we have 1965, Paradise Hawaiian Style. He was working on Paradise Hawaiian Style. 1966, Elvis spent most of September in Palm Springs. Just up that a little bit. 1971, Dinner and Midnight Vegas shows. 1972, Elvis closed his Las Vegas engagement with Dinner and Midnight Las Vegas shows. And there was a press conference. Here we go. There was a press conference where the Aloha from Hawaii satellite show was announced. He met fans and members of the UK fan club backstage. And here we go. Here we are. Lucky ladies. There's another one coming up here now. Yeah. Now, as you can see, second from the left and third from the left is Tony Prince and Todd Slaughter, who was obviously head of the UK fan club at the time. I think Todd's just about stepped back now, hasn't he? This year or last year, stepped back a little bit. He's still involved, of course. He always will be. Elvis looking fine as always. 1973. This is good. This is really, really good. Having just been fired by Elvis, the Colonel and Elvis kept their argument going. Elvis, however, was a little stressed, who in turn... what was that? Elvis, however, was a little stressed. Yeah, well, he would have been. 1974, Elvis attends the Vicky Carr opening night at the Tropicana with Sheila Ryan. And 1976, Elvis performed at the Civic Center, Lakeland, Florida, 2:30 and 8:30. And that photograph there is Elvis leaving the hotel for the 2:30. And is Dick Grobe just to the right there. So he's leaving the hotel for the 2:30 performance in the prehistoric bird jumpsuit. And we've got the afternoon show in Lakeland. Some fine shots here of that show. Of course, Elvis always enjoyed talking to the fans at the apron, the stage apron. Leslie says, oh, I remember listening to that under the covers on Radio Luxembourg. Yeah, Tony Prince, yes. And then we have the evening performance in Lakeland. Lucky lady getting a kiss and a scarf. You can see the scarf around her neck. There he is giving her the scarf. That's the 8:30 p.m. performance. Oh, yeah, I wanted to show this. This is a photograph that Colin Paul sent me. And this is the view from the stage, or what would have been the stage, in the HIC, the Aloha from Hawaii venue. That was the one I was looking for last week, and I thought I'd included it, and I hadn't, so I thought I'd include it this week. So thanks again to Colin Paul for sending me that in. That's the HIC arena. Now, Photoshop. I look around some weeks to see if I can find a picture that's obviously fake and photoshopped. And I said that you'd be seeing that one with Magdalene again. And the reason being is because it's this one I stumbled across. And that is Elvis and a young Marilyn Monroe. And what they've done is they've taken this shot of Marilyn, and they've made that one out of it, as you can see, fake and original. And that is simply because it's, where is it? This one. You see? And they flipped it around, they mirrored it, and they've mirrored the one of Marilyn as well. It's the other way around, the original, and then they flipped it. But you can see that it is like, you know, it's the skirt is the same, the hand is the same, the blouse, the hair, everything is the same. So fake and original. Yeah. So if there's a particular photograph that you find is fake and Photoshop, and you can send me the Photoshop one and the original, obviously, and I'll cover it in a future show. Now, I want to do a song I wish Elvis had recorded, and this was kindly sent in by a viewer to the channel by the name of Thurain, or Thuran. I hope I'm saying that right. I'll say Thurain. Thanks, Thurain, for sending this in. Very, very kind. Don't forget, you can still vote a little while longer on the poll. Do you think Elvis and Priscilla planned a reconciliation? It's just very, very simply a yes or a no answer. And I'll give you the results in a few minutes. So, thanks Thurain for sending this in. It's a song written by Brian Porter and Dennis Lambert, which became a top 10 hit in 1971 for Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds. Rumoured to have been written with Elvis in mind as well, this one. Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds themselves played on the basic tracks for their recording sessions, on which Jimmy Haskell's horns and string arrangements were later overdubbed. Recorded in December 1970. Here we go. It's Don't Pull Your Love Out. Some people say Don't Pull Your Love Out, but it says there on the label Don't Pull Your Love. It was released in April 1971 and reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, dated 31st of July 1971. On the top 100 singles chart in the Cashbox, dated 31st July 1971, it was ranked at number 1 in Canada. I can imagine Elvis singing this song. It's got a sort of love me, love the life I lead kind of vibe to it. I will put a link to the recording in the description box below this video so you can check it out and leave me your opinions in the comment section and let me know what you think. Could you envisage Elvis singing this song, Don't Pull Your Love? And if there's a song that you wish Elvis had recorded, you can do like Thurain did and send it in, and I could feature it in a future live show. So that's it. We need to I need to give you the poll result. And also say that if you do like what I'm doing, please give this a thumbs up, a like, the thumbs up button, and share these and tell everybody about it and all that. And if you really, really think I'm doing a good job and you want to support the channel, then you can buy me a coffee. And again, the link is below. And don't forget, subscribe and click the bell and turn it black. And turn your subscriptions on, turn your notifications on as well, because just because you subscribed, it doesn't mean that you're going to get them unless you turn your notifications on your mobile phone under the app. Now, give the poll result. I'm interested in this. What is it going to be? Close. Do you think Elvis and Priscilla planned a reconciliation? Yes, 27. No, 73%. So it wasn't even close. A lot of people are believing what Vernon said in the letter. No, there was no chance that they were considering or even planned a reconciliation. Although, that being said, over 25% said yes. So still quite interesting. And to everybody that voted, thank you very, very much. It's much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really enjoy your company every week. And thanks to all the callers, great callers this week. Jack, Salam, Priscilla, Mark, just brilliant. And we're going to do it all again next Sunday. And until then, please look after yourselves. Don't forget, you can buy me a coffee if you wish using the link below. See you folks next Sunday.